at AUDNZD, price is lining up for our entry. So we see an uptrend move from the weekly. So looking at the monthly time frame, what we can see, firstly, found out it was moving in an uptrend on the weekly time frame. Now on the 4 hour, we see it has respected the 50% Fibonacci, and it actually formed the double bottom, which the neckline has been broken. So now it hasn't touched this area, it doesn't touch that area, it doesn't touch this area. It's still in divide. From year to year, back here to year, back here, and now it's down. So if it hits this level, we expect it to go back to this level. So what we want to see is the price should come back down here and then give us a buying opportunity. Hello guys, how are you all doing? Okay, now I want to specially welcome you to another trade alert video. In this video, we're going to be showing you trading opportunities. Let's look at AUDNZD. Before this video, we looked at the 4-hour chart and we saw a good opportunity. The price is lining up for our entry. This is my monthly time frame. So looking at the monthly time frame, what we can see, Alright guys, looking at the monthly time frame, what we can see is AUDNZD has pretty much been moving in a range from year to year, back here to year, back here, and now it's down playing in this tiny range it created just about there. So how can we take advantage of this? Usually when it moves in a range, you know, once it gets to this level, it's definitely going to go back to the other level, and then it's going to come back. If it respects, it is going back. If it respects, it's going back. If it respects, just like that, it's going back. Now if it respects here, what it means is it's headed back here, right? Okay, so we'll just have that in mind. That's one possibility. Let me get rid of all of these blue things. That's just one. What am I doing? Okay, cool. That's just one possibility. Okay, now looking at what's happening currently, what can we see? We're gonna look away from this mess and focus on this. All right, we see how the price respected that area and shot up, but quite didn't get to the next level. Came back down to our support area and went back to our 50% level, and has been playing within this level for quite a while now. Now AUDNZD is quite a tricky one, so you have to be really careful, but we'll show you guys, because we initially just took this off our watch list because we're very comfortable with what we're looking at, but looking at it more closely, we got to find out something, right? And we'll show you guys that on the monthly time frame, we don't pretty much see any other thing apart from it just playing around in the middle, right? It's basically ranging. It has already hit here. That was the last time it hit a level. So if it hits this level, we expect it to go back to this level, right? But as we can see, it came here and respected the 50% level, which means, and it broke, right? We'll show you that on the 4-hour time frame. It broke the trend line from the base, from this level to this level, right? So if that has broken it, that means the market is looking to reverse, right? So we expect it to come back down here, but this is why we said it's kind of tricky. It didn't quite reach. It came back down, but didn't quite reach. See that space there, and we're not taking anything for granted, right? So we're going to consider this a down move. We'll still consider it a down move until it hits here, right? We'll just look at what other time frame has to tell us, and before we draw our conclusions as to what to do. So on the monthly, it's here, hasn't come back down. We expect it to be moving downwards. to complete the move. Okay, so let's go to the weekly time frame. All right, cool. Now on the weekly, let's just look in closer. Okay, wow, that's nice. It looks like we're even having a minor uptrend movement from this area here on the weekly. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so we see an uptrend move from the weekly. An uptrend move. My trend line isn't drawn properly, but let's leave it like that. We're not really going to use it anyway. So we see an uptrend move. It moved from here, came back down here, and moved up, breaking the previous swing high there. So if it has come down and it's respecting this trend line, we're expecting it to push higher. Alright, we expect it to create a new higher high because it hasn't created and it hasn't broken structure. If it had broken here, we would have considered it a possibility for sales, right? But it hasn't. So let's see what more we can find. So it's respecting an uptrend line. Get rid of all of these things. It's respecting an uptrend line. Now, if we actually look into this properly, one of the things we'll observe is it actually didn't hit this 50% level. And guys, the price doesn't do anything unintentionally. Everything the price does is intentional. So you see how it came close, didn't quite touch it, and then it started going back down until we hit the trend line again and reversed up back. It still hasn't touched it, because if it touches that 50% level, what we are going to believe is the market is looking to go down. You get it? Because if it moves from this zone, from this level, goes and touch this, we are going to have to draw a trend line from here and expect the market to just keep respecting that trend line until it hits the next major zone. If peradventure the price breaks our trend line, we will begin to look for selling opportunities, right? And it's obvious that the market is not really ready to start selling off yet. The price is not ready to go down. That explains why it's respecting the uptrend line and is not actually hitting our 50% level. Everything the price does is intentional. Let's see what we have on the daily. Let's see. We pretty much have a clearer view on the daily. Right now I'm tempted to do this creepy thing, tempted to draw a trend line from here like so. I'm really tempted to do that, but I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. So what do we see on the daily? Do we see any new information? Not really. Everything is pretty much the same. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same. The double bottom that formed there has completed, broke length line, has gone back to the other leg. It has completed the second leg, right? So what do we see? There's no need for, unless we are going to have to call this an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So we want to call this the right shoulder, and we'll call this area the left shoulder and then the head. Is that logical? So it breaks the neckline and then we can anticipate it to move up to this point. But that's not really convincing for me. And we're just trying to force, what we'll call, you're trying to force the market, you're trying to interpret things that are not there. Alright, so I think let's just leave that alone. Let's just go to the 4 hour and see what we find. Okay, we prefer to enter our trade on the 4 hour time frame. So remember we moved from here and we expected the price to hit this our green line, but it didn't quite hit. Like we're explaining on the daily time frame, if it had hit the trend line, the 50% line, what we would have done this like this. To have drawn our trend line like this, and then once it breaks here, as it broke this part, once it breaks this part, we'll now call we'll believe it's ready to go down for a sell, and we'll start looking for sell trades. You get, we'll start looking for sell trades. That would have been a good one anyway, because most likely we would have taken a trade somewhere about here, but the market isn't doing that for us somewhere, so we would have just gone into a nice sell trade here. That would have been a good one anyway, but all we wanted was just buying opportunities. Okay, so now it hasn't touched this area, it hasn't touched that area, it hasn't touched this area. It's still in the buys. We'll still call it a buy. We'll only look for buying opportunities. Now this is where we are currently, and what do we see here already? We see the market is forming a double bottom. This one and this is the second. This is the neckline. It has currently broken the neckline, all right? But because it broke the neckline doesn't mean we're going to go in. We're going to wait for a retracement first. That's what we are waiting for. So we've already drawn our trend line here. Already drawn that trend line there. All right, so we're expecting the trend line has already been broken. Now we expect an entry. So what we want to see is the price should, it has even, okay, what we want to see is the price should come back down here and then give us a buying opportunity. That's what we want to see. That's what we are just waiting for, guys. That's what we are waiting for. So once we have that, we are jumping in. We could take your first profit at that level and then aim for this level. You get it, guys? Yeah, that's pretty much what we see on AUDNZD. That's what we see on AUDNZD. If you see any other thing of concern, as usual, put it in the comment section below and we'll be glad to look into it with you. All right, so for now we're going to be waiting for that to play out. We'll wait for that to play out until, let's see if this actually respected the 50% Fibonacci level. Once that plays out, absolutely, you get it. So this also informs our buyers of a buy trade. So firstly, we found out it was moving in an uptrend on the weekly time frame. Now on the 4 hour, we see it has respected the 50% Fibonacci, and it actually formed a double bottom, which the neckline has been broken. Come on, guys, what else do you want to hear? So we expect the market to go up. At this point, we expect the market to give us a good entry and goes up. If it doesn't give us an entry, we are not entering the trade, guys. We're not in a haste. We're not in a haste at all. So that's it for AUDNZD. We'll see you guys in subsequent trade alert videos.